Hi, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great day. Today, we are going to talk about reading comprehension, sight words, and we are going to work on patterns. Okay, so now we're going to switch gears and we're going to talk about reading comprehension. So, what should I look for when I read? Well, the first thing I need to look for is I need to look for characters. My characters tell me all about who is my story about. So if I want to know who my story is about, I need to look for those characters. So for example, Junie B. Jones is a character in our Junie B. Jones chapter books. She's our main character. She is what the story is mainly about. The story is always about Junie B. and her life, right? And sometimes we're introduced to some of Junie B's friends like Lucille and Grace. But mainly, we're always knowing about Junie B. We're always learning about her. Then we have the pigeon from our funny pigeon books. He is our main character as well, and we always get to know our pigeon very well in our stories. So he's also a character. And then we have David from the No David book, which is a super silly book as well, and it shows us all of the super funny things that David does. So when I read my story, I always want to make sure that I look for the characters so I know what the story is talking about or who the story is talking about. All right, then I need to look for setting. So a setting is where something happens. So is my story happening outside in a treehouse? Is my story happening at a school? Is my story happening on a farm? Is my story happening at the beach? Where is my story happening? And then I have plot. So the plot of the story tells me what is my story about? Why is my story important? And did I learn anything from my story? So as I am reading my book or as I'm listening to a book, I want to make sure that I know what my story is about. Why is it important? And what did I learn from my story? Did I learn something from it? So to practice these skills, we are going to listen to a Hooked on Phonics book called Hippo Gets a Pet. And then we will try to see if we can answer some of those plot questions that we just talked about. Hopefully, the video is load.
Welcome to Test Story Time. Hippo Gets a Pet. Written by Sandra Carlton. Illustrated by Mitchell Rose. This is Hippo. Hippo likes pets. Hippo sees a man with lots of pets. Can I get a pet to hug? Says Hippo. Okay, says the man. This pup is for you. Hippo and pup hop and run. Hippo, says pup. Can I get a pet too? Okay, says Hippo. This cat is for you. Hippo and pup and cat hop and run. Hippo, says cat, can I get a pet too? Okay, says Hippo. This pig is for you. Hippo and pup and cat and pig hop and run. Hippo hugs the pets and says, pets are lots and lots of fun.
All right, so that is the end of my story. So I hope that you enjoyed listening to that story. All right, so who are the characters? Who are the characters in my story? So I want you to think about that for a second and then we can come up with the answers together. So first I have Hippo. That's right, I have Hippo. I have the pup, the man who was selling the different animals, the cat, the pig, and I know that Hippo was my main character. We mainly focused on Hippo throughout the story. So I have him circled there in blue. So hopefully you were able to find all of those different characters. What is the setting? Where does my story take place? So a lot of my story takes place outside. So at first he was in a garden type of area, and then he was in maybe the outside of a city. So most of my story took place outside. Remember, they were doing a lot of running and hopping. So it's important that we do those things outside. So they were outside a lot during our story. And what is my story all about? Well, first, Hippo likes pets and gets a pup. The pup wants a pet. The pup gets a cat. Now the cat wants a pet too, and the cat gets a pig. And then what did I learn from the story? Well, I learned that pets are fun. At the end, it seemed like they were all such good friends and that they were having such a fun time all together. So when I really think about all of those parts of the story, it can help me to understand the story much better. So as you are reading books or as you are listening to books, make sure that you're looking for those characters, you're thinking about where the story happens, and you're thinking about why is the story important? What am I learning from the story? What is my story all about? All right, so now we are going to listen to some Jack Hartman. I'm just going to move my bubble on this side. So we are going to practice looking at some different sight words. So we're not going to listen to all of the sight words in the song, but we're going to listen to most of them. So as you are listening to the sight words, you can pause the video and you can practice writing the sight words. You can use Play-Doh to make the sight words, or you could even go on a sight word scavenger hunt with all the different sight words that are in this video. So I'm going to go ahead and start the video. So make sure that you have something to write with or something to help you keep track of all of the sight words that are in this video.
Jack Hartman! Kids Music Channel!
Pop, pop, popcorn words. Pop, pop, popcorn words. Pop, pop up when you read in newspapers, books, and magazines. Pop, pop up when you read in newspapers, books, and magazines. Y-O-U, U, Y-O-U, U, W-H-O, who, W-H-O, who, A-N-D, A-N-D, and C-A-N, can, C-A-N, can, M-E, me. pop, popcorn words. Pop, pop, popcorn words. Pop, pop up when you read in newspapers, books, and magazines. Pop, pop up when you read in newspapers, books, and magazines. W-E, we, W-E, we, H-E, he, H-E, he, I-N, N-I-N, N-T-O, two, T-O, two, I-T, it, I-T, it, I-S, is, I-S, is. Pop, 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 popcorn words. Pop, pop, popcorn words. Pop, pop up when you read in newspapers, books, and magazines. Pop, pop up when you read in newspapers, books, and magazines.
All right, so we will make sure that we practice with some more Jack Hartman songs in the next videos that I will do. So hopefully you enjoyed listening to Jack Hartman. Jack Hartman is one of our favorite people to listen to when we're at school. All right, so now we are going to work on finding some sight words and sentences. So I'm just going to move my bubble again. All right, so I want you to try to read this sentence, and then we are going to find the sight words in that sentence. All right, so this sentence says, who can see my dog and pig? And so remember, when you have that question mark at the end, you want to make sure that your voice sounds like you're asking a question. So there we go. I have that sight word who in the front. And who gives me a little clue that I'm probably going to be asking a question. That's why I have a question mark at the end there. Let's work on another sentence. So I'm going to let you first read the sentence and then I will read it. So yeah, that's right. Where is my cupcake? So for that word cupcake, you can split it up. So I can cut that word right in half. I'm going to cut that word in half there. So I'm going to first read this one. Cup. And now when I look at this word, I see I have a silent E, a magic E. So I know that this A is going to be a long sound now. It's going to be A. So cup, egg, cake, cupcake. So where is my cupcake? And where is another sight word that is a question sight word. I know that most of the time when I have that word where, I'm going to be asking a question. So I want to make sure that my voice sounds like I'm asking a question. All right, let's work on another one. Oops, let me move my little bubble again. There we go. All right, so go ahead and read this one. Yeah, so this one says, have you seen my black and green bag? Have you seen my black and green bag? So remember, I'm making my voice sound like I'm asking a question because that question mark is at the end. And so I have that sight word there in the front, have. And this one is a little bit tricky because I do have that magic E on the end, but this one, it's not really making a long A sound. It's making ah. So that's why this one is a sight word. So we just have to memorize this one. Right. Let's do this one. So I'll give you a second to read it. Yeah, so this one is, do you know how to make a cake? And this sentence and a lot of our handwriting that I'm using in the PowerPoint, it has these K's in it. So this is the same as the letter K, but this is just our Danielian K. It's just another way to show the letter K. So remember that when we practice sight words at school, that this sight word right here, it sounds like we're saying no, like no, you can't do that. But this is like, I know how to do something. Or like our sentence is asking, do you know how to make a cake? And then I have two words here with that magic E or that silent E at the end. So remember, now my A's are both going to sound like A instead of ah. So hopefully you were able to read that sentence. All right, so now we are going to, oh, and I also have that sight word, do, D-O, do. All right, so now we're going to practice making some patterns. So I want you to help me by telling me what is going to be the next two shapes in that pattern. So go ahead and think about, what are my next two shapes? All right, yeah, my next two shapes are going to be a rectangle and then this pentagon. And I know this is a pentagon because it has 5 sides. So let's count the sides all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I know this is a rectangle and it has 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. So when I'm looking at my pattern, I have rectangle, pentagon, pentagon. So what's going to be next? A rectangle and a pentagon. And if I kept completing it, I would know that I would have another pentagon here as well. So hopefully you were able to get that pattern. All right, so this is asking me, what are the next two in the pattern? I'll give you a second to go ahead and think about that one. All right, so this one is telling me magenta triangle, blue triangle, green triangle, yellow star. Magenta triangle, blue triangle, green triangle, star. So what is going to be my next two in that pattern? Yeah, so my next two are going to be that magenta triangle and that blue triangle. Very good job. All right, so I want you to continue this pattern for me. I want you to keep that pattern going. So I'll give you a second to think about that pattern and then we'll complete it together. Yeah, so next I'm going to have my circle there. Then I'm going to have my diamond. Then I'm going to have my plus sign. And then I'm going to have my lightning bolt. And if I kept continuing the pattern, I could keep going and going and going with those different shapes. All right, what are the next three in this pattern? What are the next three? So I'll go ahead and give you a second to think about that. Yeah, so my next three in my pattern is going to be this upside down triangle. And then I want you to tell me, what shape is this one? So let's figure it out together. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. When I have 6 sides, does anybody remember what shape that is? Yeah, that's a hexagon. Hexagon. So 6 sides is a hexagon. So I have 2 hexagons there, and then I have an upside down triangle. Very good job. So when you're at home, you can try to make patterns by yourself too. And you can make patterns with tons of different things. You can make patterns with Legos, with erasers, with pencils. Anything that you can find, you can make a pattern with. All right, so we're going to go ahead and read another chapter of Junie B. Jones Has a Peep in Her Pocket. So today we are on chapter 6, Farmer Flores. So while we're reading, I want you to keep in mind my characters, my setting, and what is this chapter telling me all about. Farmer Flores did a nice smile. Your teacher tells me that you're not very happy about being here today, he said. I felt my forehead again. I'm ill, I said. Yes, well, I've been thinking about how I can make this a better visit for you, and I was wondering if maybe you would like to be my special farmhand today. Do you know what a special farmhand is, Junie B? I shake my head no. Well, for one thing, the special farmhand gets to walk with a farmer in the very front of the line. Would you like to do that? I don't know, maybe, I said. And also, the special farmhand gets to be the very first person to sit on the tractor. Does that sound like fun to you? I did. I sighed very big. I don't know, maybe, I said. Oh, he said, but here's the most important job of all. The special farmhand gets to help me keep all the other children in order. Just then, my mouth came all the way open. In order? I asked, very thrilled. You mean I get to order the other children around? Farmer Flores rubbed his chin. Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way, he said. I grabbed my backpack. Well, then what are we waiting for, Farmer? I said. After that, I runned off the bus speedy quick, and I clapped my hands real loud. All right, people, get in line. Farmer Flores is going to show us around, and he doesn't have all day, folks. Pretty soon, Farmer Flores and Mrs. came off the bus, too. And here's a picture, so I'll show you that first part of the picture. Ooh, hold on, you can get it in my circle. There we go. And then here's my second part of my picture, and there's Junie B shouting at all of her friends. Right, you heard them, people. The buddy system. We need to hold hands using the buddy system today. All of a sudden, Mrs. bent down next to my ear. Helping Farmer Flores does not mean being rude, Junie B. I want you to be helpful and nice. But I am being helpful and nice, I said. Just then, I skipped to the end of the line and checked on Polly, Allen, Pepper, and Jim. I've got my eye on you two, I said, very helpful and nice. Jim cockle-doodle-dooed at me again. Yeah, only too bad for you, Jim, I said, 'cause I already looked around this place for roosters, and I didn't even see one of those mean guys. After that, I quick skipped back to the front of the line, and me and Farmer led the children to the pasture. Pasture is the farm word for big grass and a fence. Only wait till you hear this. There were 4 horses and 2 ponies in that pasture. Attention, people, attention! Do not be afraid of the horses and ponies. Just stand very still and they will not attack you. I thought for a second. Also, do not feed them cheese popcorn, I said. I looked at the farmer. I learned that from the zoo, I said. After that, the farmer held my hand and we led the children to the barn. The barn is where the cows get milk. All of room 9 held their noses in that place, because the barn smells like stink and hay. Farmer Flores told us all about milking cows, and he showed us the machines that hook up to the cows. Plus, we also saw big, giant cans that hold the milk. After he got done, he asked if we had questions. I raised my hand. Except the farmer didn't answer me. Only I didn't know why, because I thought I had a pretty good question. After that, he took my hand again, and we took the children to another part of the barn. There was a black and white cow there. Farmer showed us how to milk her with the milking machine. That is called a demo cow, I believe. After that, Farmer Flores was finished talking about cows. Okay, boys and girls, let's go back outside and visit some of the other animals, he said. Just then I got a little nervous inside on account of what if he was taking us to see the rooster? I walked outside very careful. Only good news, Farmer Flores took us right to the pigs in the pen. After that, we saw goats and lambs, and I petted a lamb on her fuzzy head. And that is not even the bestest part. So we're going to stop there for today, and hopefully my picture is in the circle. There you go. So there's Junie B. All right, so we will finish up this chapter next time. So I hope you all enjoyed that lesson today, and I will see you on our Zoom call tomorrow. Everyone have a great rest of your day.